Night Terror's Batman issue 1, and this one is, of course, all shaped around Batman, it's all shaped around this tie-in, it's all focused on Bruce and what does he fear about, and what is his biggest fear, because it is quite interesting for a character who's all about that, who's all about, spreading fear and the hearts of criminals and darkness and using and saying the words "I have no fear." All the nightmares have become reality, and I have to face my fears and face my nightmares. Like what happens when you have a character like that? What does that character stare about? What is his biggest that a Freddy Krueger type character can dig in? But what you realize, like me at this point, have only read the Werther's tie-in for issue 1 tie-in, and now this one. At this point, it does feel like there's a sort of a pattern, which is okay. We introduce the character, and we introduce the nightmare and what the nightmare is about, and then we introduce creepy imagery. Like I'm looking through these covers, and they really have this massive hard on about little 10-year-old, let's say 10-year-old Bruce Wayne, you know puking up a giant bat out of his mouth with which has a gun as a head, or like a head, a gun barrel in like some melted to his forehead, and you're like, I mean, it's creepy. There's a lot of body horror going on here, as you assume. Like you think Batman, it'll be a lot of gothic horror, it'll be a lot of like creepy imagery, and you got that. And this is the first one for me that I have read our main villain, Insomnia, and so I have more sense of what his deal is, what's going on. It does feel a sense of I'm looking for X, the Gotham, aka this Nightmare Stone, and you must to exit out this nightmare, and everyone else get outside of their personal nightmare. Give me the Nightmare Stone or help me to find it. Which it'll be interesting who has it. Um, but yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, it's interesting to be like, okay, like the only part you can go, oh, eye roll back of your head about is the biggest fear that Bruce Wayne has is the parents again. Oh dear, dear. Like you can roll your eyes back in your head with the concept of the greatest fear that Batman has is his parents' death, which you just go, okay, so is the whole thing of the personal story that Bruce is going to face is you thought you were over your parents' death, but in reality you're not. Um, but Somia at this point just feels like, I mean, he's walking around in like a woman outfit, and he said, "Hey, I can be a psychic. I can be your boy wonder." So he feels like a very, what it is? It's like the Doctor Strange villain Nightmare, oddly enough. And they're like, "Hey, let's try and make Nightmare a DC character." Um, but at this point, I mean, here's the thing: I would like, what's it, First Order, which is like issue 1, like the thing that kind of starts the whole event off. I haven't read that yet at this point, but it just does feel like he's he just feels like a villain of the week. Really, I mean, he has a goal, and you you know what he is? He's the goal that makes the event happen. He pushes the stories forward. The whole thing is about nightmares, about what are the heroes' worst nightmares are. Well, in this case, it's this, or this case, that, and he's just the guffin. He's the thing that moves the plot forward to make that happen. Um, but at this point, he's just like, okay, villain of the event. It's that villain of the week. That's essentially what he is. But yeah, so far, I mean, here's the thing: I quite enjoy Ravages, so a tick. I I have enjoyed. I really enjoyed the Batman one. This one, there's a tick there. There's even a little story, a little backstory dealing with Damien. Clearly something happened in the Free Comic Day event that set set Damien off a path of looking through the snowy abyss. But I'm but clearly that's going to pick up in issue 3 of Night Terrors, the main series event, Night Terrors book. So yeah, I mean, so far it's all good. It just feels like, okay, I sense a rhythm already, and the differences that are going to mostly happen with each tie-in and with each story is mostly going to happen with the it's essentially it's going to happen at issue 2. It's not going to happen issue 1. Issue 1 is to say here's the nightmare, and it's going to be different because we're a different cliffhanger, and that's kind of it. But anyway, comment below what you think if you wear it. What you thought of that of this issue.